Hello there, all my favorite fans out there, and Windkiller is back with another battle report, and today it's gonna be the Saurian Ancient versus the Highborn elves. And you are in for quite a treat. This is a battle that had almost everything you could want for a battle. So let's jump right into it, shall we? So let's just go through our list before the game starts. Sadly, I lost the Highborn's list, so you will just get a beautiful introduction of mine, and through pictures we can see what he brought. But I can tell you right away that he brought some spearmen, some archers, and some pretty nasty characters, and some flying chariots, and some pretty standard list. Anyhow, let's jump into my list. So we brought the Cold Blood on the Protein Potente, or whatever you call it, and Grasp of the Immortal. So he casts a lot of spells with +2. And we have a Tower Saw with a Great Bow and a Wizard Apprentice who has shamans on top of it, and he's naked. Nothing but a skink and a Tower Saw. Not bad anyway. 28 Saurian with the banner of Relentless Company and Crocodile Skin. So a strong unit to move. I'm planning on to use them on the flank this game. 35 skinks with the tree frog banner. Hopefully they can kill some knights, or at least that's the plan for it. With agility 5, they have a good chance. If they can get a charge, they have a good chance to take out some nasty armored unit on a good day. 24 Tremble Guards, the backbone of the army with the rending banner, and the slan in the middle. Strong unit. 8 caimans to deal with anything that has better armor than 1. 10 raptors to be quicker than anything else. 2 snake swarms, because I like snake swarms. And lastly, another Tyrannosaur with a great bow. So a lot of great bows and a lot of shooting. Overall, a mass, I call it the mass list. It's just overwhelming. That's the point. At least that's the goal of the list, is to be overwhelm your opponent with strong units. I mean 2 Tyrannosaurus and 24 Temple Guards, 8 Caimans and 10 Raptors and 28 Saurian Warriors. These are all really strong units along the line. That's the plan. Now I have recently updated the list to make it a little bit more stable. So I have actually taken out one of the Taurosaurs, downgraded it to a Strigagor, whatever you call it, and added a Jade Elf, what do you call it? The magic item that allows me to cast a bounce spell of healing water. Put it on my Cold Lord. So I have potentially 2 healing waters in 1 round now. And I have given the Skink Priest Ancient of the Ancients, because then he can give a 5+ war save to all these beautiful blocks. And I think it cost, and then I have done something else. I have also put in 3 Caimans in the Skink Braves and taken out 2 Caimans in the normal unit, and that's about it, I think. We jump right into the deployment phase here. He gets to choose the bottom side of the map, and I have the top side of the map. If I recall correctly, the game has been played a little while ago. But if I recall correctly, I get to deploy first, and I deploy everything to get the first turn, because I felt like I had to be the aggressive player in this particular matchup here. So I opted into the first turn, and so I had to place my units very central, and so I did that. And then I put my Caimans on the right side, and the my Saurian Warrior on the left side. And the Saurian Warriors have the Relentless Banner, So they are able to move 15 inches for one turn. So they are able to put a lot of pressure on all his blocks on some very early stages of the game, and I think that my 28 Saurian can actually kill any single units of his without any big problem. So I was pretty happy about having won that deployment battle, if you can say so. And then I just deployed everything very central. I wanted to keep my Caymans on the other side in case he wanted to fortify it on the other side of the board. I wanted to have a big threat on either side of the board, realizing that it would cost me a lot of points. One of the units won't be able to do anything for the entire combat, right? And I was okay with that. And then on the central part, I placed the my fast Raptorites and my Cold Lord, so he could reach both sides. He could reach both sides with his magic. And the Taurosaurs with the great bows, they would be able to utilize the great bows on either side of the map. Magic, well, I'm the Protanian, Protanian, whatever. I have all the number 1 spells, and so does he, plus some pyromancing spells. So I get I get the first turn. Let me just see if I can make it work here. So I get the first turn here. I move up my warrior. I just move up everything. Nothing really happens. I get off. This is one of the situations where I think I might need to improve a little bit on my game part to identify what my opponents would like to do in his next turn, particularly in the turns where we're not in any big combats, but where everything is still kind of in the air. What kind of unit is he interested in focusing on? And in this case here, I thought he was going to go for my Skink Priest on the Stigadon, so I decided to go for Healing Water on the Stigadon. And I do get it, which is good. I try some fireballs. I try to shoot one of his bow throwers off. I use all my spells. I think I use my fireball on it, and I use my Hederic spells, and I do 2 bow throwers on it afterwards. I think I do take 3 wounds of it, but it's still alive. I move up with my Caymans, my Skinks. Everything just move forward, right? I'm pretty far away from him. And I place my Saurian warriors behind the hills. And looking back at it, I should probably just moved up on the hill and just I should have moved as far forward as I possibly could. And I don't think I did that. Oh, right, because I wanted the reform. And thinking back, I probably didn't need the reform. I should just have moved 8 inches up, and be happy about that. Anyway, so the next turn here, let's see. Yes, so his turn here. He moves his eagle. He doesn't really. Oh, on the right side, he moves 2 eagles up to threaten a flank charge on my skinks, my 30 skinks. And I was kind of like, okay, 2 eagles versus 30 skinks, and I have the tree fog banner, so I have poison, and I have a lot of ranks, and I was like, yeah, okay, I can take that charge. That should be all right. Turns out I couldn't be more wrong. Anyway, I will get to that. But it taught me an important lessons that I think if you want to play this skink unit here, there are 2 options. Either you have to always place them around, put them around my my Cold Lord, or you have to put a Cayman in there so they get to have leadership 7. Anyway, yes, he moves forward with his spearmen, getting ready to fight. I think he made a misjudgment here on how strong his spearmen were, and he was kind of like, come bring it with them. They are behind a fence, and they have distractions, so I do hit on 6s. But I have 2 But I have 2. I have a stick on. I have 2 Taurosaurs, so they can pretty easily. They should be easily to do a lot of damage here. Next, that was it, And then magic, he do get some magic off. I think he tries to take out my if I don't recall correctly, he just goes. Oh yeah, I make a mistake here. So he uses a sword or something. What is called wound of sword, or the pyromantic spells that gives you 1+2 wound. And I did not realize. I didn't think clearly, because first of all, it ignores my my healing water. And secondly, he gets to +1 to wound, meaning he wounds on 5s. And everything suddenly looks really bad for my big tower source. Looking back on that, I will not let that spell go through again. He managed to take off 3 wounds on my tower saw, and I think I was pretty lucky. And I would say there's probably a big chance in any other game that I could have just straight out died. It managed to survive, which I'm very happy about. He gets Beast of the Awaken up on his Spearman, which I don't care about, so that was fine. I took a lot of wounds on my torso, and that was not good. So my turn 2, I think. What happens here? Oh, so the picture we were looking at was my turn 2. So I moved up a little bit. Here I think I made a mistake. I moved up my Saurian warrior up to the hills. So they took the objective. And I moved my Raptor Riders up to take the objectives, and I moved my Skinks up to take the objective. Well aware that I would get a flank charge from the 2 eagles, and I was kind of like, yeah, I can take that, I thought. That was a big mistake, and one that's gonna cost me the game in the end. Not cost me the game, but it's gonna be very vital. Anyway, I move up, and then I move my temple guards up as well. I think I moved them up 18 inches, and I moved my Raptor Riders ready for the charge on these temple guards. And that's it. I think maybe this turn I should have charged. I should have. I don't know why I wanted to put up my snake swarms to chaff him off, because I don't think there's any reason to chaff him off. Honestly, if you want to go to war with me, I think I should be more than happy about taking. I should be more than happy to take that fight. He's turn 2. He's going to try and charge with his dragon lances onto my skink braves and his 2 eagle charges, and that's it. He moves up to his eagle. He does something smart here, which I did not predict, and I think the rule is a little bit weird, but whatever. He moves up his eagle, so next to my Saurian warrior, so they can't wheel, so they can't get a charge off on the his sea guard unit he has down here with the sword of might, sword of might down here. Yeah, I could have charged them, and I think I needed like it was like a 12. I needed to charge the sea guards, the unit down. I'm just the unit down here. But I couldn't charge them because the eagle was in the way, so I couldn't wheel around it. And I think that's a little bit. I think that's honestly, I should be able to wheel through it, in my opinion. But whatever, I couldn't do that. So I end up charging the. I ended up charging the this unit here. The unit closest to me is a unit of. Phoenix Wardens, 15 Phoenix Wardens, which I was pretty happy with, because I was pretty sure I could break the Phoenix Warden here. Anyway, his turn. He doesn't really do anything. He keeps on trying and kill my Taurosaurs, and I think he takes off 2 wounds this time. This time I stopped. Yes, this time I stopped the let me just look. Flaming sword. That's what it's called. Flaming sword. I stopped flaming sword, and he tried and shoot some magic missiles on me. He doesn't really do anything of any success. That's about it. So my turn 3, I think it is. I'm gonna go. This is where I decide to go in. So I do something interesting here, right? I charge with my snake swarms and my temple guards. So my temple guards can only get in with 1, but they fail charge anyway. And I charge with my raptor riders on his temple wardens, and that's it. Oh, and I lost my skink braves. They lost the combat to the 2 eagles by 1 or something. I failed my steadfast, which is only on a 5, so obviously I do. That's why you need the Cayman. So I failed the steadfast test, and I lose the objective here, which sucks. And I moved my my wounded skink priest. He moves back here to try and hide from the bow throwers or whatever. He tries to live another day. So my magic phase here, I'm preparing for the charge for my temple guards, in case he wanted to charge my temple guards with his spearmen. I prepare that charge. My raptor riders fail a charge on the Phoenix Warden on the bottom, which is not very good. So now they are actually in position to receive a flank attack from the spearmen. However, if he was going to charge with the spearmen on that flank attack, right, I would have my Caymans ready to jump up. I would have my Taurosaur ready to charge, and maybe even the Taurosaur in the back. My skink priest here in the back might even be able to reach him as well. So I can understand why he wouldn't take that charge. Also on the left side flank here, I gotta know thy enemy, so my Saurian warriors are suddenly agility 5 on the charge, so I hit on the same time as the Phoenix Wardens, and I'm offensive 5, so I hit on 4s, and he hits on 3s only. So that was a combat that clearly turned into my favor, and I also managed to break him. And I make a big mistake here. I make a really big mistake here. I managed to break him, and I was thinking about holding, and then we talked about it, and we somehow end up following him. Because then potentially, right, I could have. Yeah, there's nothing good to say about it. It's just a big mistake here. But I end up following, and I don't catch him. I don't catch the Flaming Phoenix Wardens, and I roll like a 3. And I'm just standing here ready to take a flank charge from his sea garden down here. On my Saurian warriors, which have another objective, right? So if I lose this objective here, I'm suddenly in big trouble on winning on the objective at least. Because he can take this one here with his Highborn Dragon, Highborn Knights. And my Raptor Riders has the other one. So suddenly I'm no longer in the lead. If I lose my Saurian warrior here on the left side, I'm no longer in the lead for the objective, which I thought was pretty critical. Plus taking a charge from the 15 Sea Guards with a BSB in there would probably not be all that good for me. It's in the flank, it's a flank charge, right? I would probably lose. If it was in the front, it would be a totally different story, right? If it was in the front, I would totally have had a chance. So that's why if I haven't followed and I just reformed up here with the and instead of pursuing the Phoenix Warden here, I could just reformed here and have my Saurian warrior face this way here. So they would be preparing for a charge on his sea guards in the front next turn, or he would need to chab him up with some of his, because he have a wizard master. The pyromancer wizard is down here, so there's like 1,000 points in this unit here, and his BSB is down here as well. So he would have to chaff it up at least. he would have to do something about it, and he wouldn't be able to charge it, which also will allow me to stay on the objective. So if I just reformed here, I think I would have been in a much better shape than it turns out. Which it turns out to be later in the game. So let's just see what happens here. Oh, I was not supposed to press that. Okay. So let's see, my turn here. He does a little bit of shooting. Overall, his shooting does really do nothing, so I'm just gonna ship it. His turn here, right? So he charges me in the flank with his sea garden here, and he tries to shoot the miasma on my temple garden. So if they charge the spearman, they will only hit on 6s, right? And that's about it. So in magic here, my turn. Yes, so it's my turn 4 here. So I actually I lose the temple guard fight over here, right? This fight here, I lose the temple guard, and they run like 7, so they end up here actually in his turn. And he's at the end of his combat turn, I'm still here. I'm still on the map actually. And then in my turn, I managed to fail my rally test, so I run off the board. So he conquered the objective here, and my Saurian warriors runs off the board, so there's no longer a flank threat. So at this moment in time here, I actually felt, oh, I could potentially lose this game here, because I was thinking up to now I was in a really good position. Anyway, I get off the charts with my temple guards on these spearmen, and my Taurosaur also managed to get in. I think I needed like a 7 to reach him, so it wasn't impossible. Anyway, it reaches as well, and my Raptor Riders reached his Flame Phoenix, Flame Wardens as well, and my Caimans are progressing nicely here. They started all the way up here, and they just been like, that's 1 turn, 2 turn, 3 turns, and now they're here in turn. I think it might even be 4 turn here. So now they're ready to do something, and I think it was actually an interesting choice by both me and my opponent. I just chose to completely ignore his Silver Helms here and his Chariot here, and I just kept on moving here, and he chose deliberately not to charge me. I think maybe he could have chaffed up me here with the Eagles, and maybe even he used his Sky. He could have done something fun, right? If we take a look here, a few turns earlier here, when my Caimans were here, right? Here, then he breaks my. Oh, so it needs to be the one to turn after, right? Hold on. So here, where he break my Skink Braves, he could maybe have flown down here with his Eagles. I don't know if he has movement for it, but like, let's just theorize it. And then with his Skyloop Chariot flying over here, and then let me charge both of them, and then he could flee over here. Yeah, and then I would just charge here with my Raptor Riders, and then I would chase him off the board. Never mind, I was just talking shit. Never mind, let's forget about that. Let's get back to the game. So where were we? I was charging his spearman blocks here, right? So I got a lot of charge off, and the combat here is a little bit exciting, right? I have the Taurosaur, and I only hit him on 6s. So my goal for this combat here was to have my temple guards survive as much as possible. So I tried to get like healing water off on it, know thy enemy, and something else, and awaken a beast with plus resistance. I managed to get awaken a beast off on it, so they're now resistant 5, which means he only wounds on 6s with his spearman, and his lord wounds is on 4s on Temple Guards and 5s on Stigadon. He chooses in the combat. He chooses to hit my Stigadon with his Lord, and he managed actually. I think he managed to do 3 wounds, and not so many wounds to the Temple Guards. My Tarzan rolls really high. I think it rolls like 6 on the impact hits and like 6 on the stomp as well. So I kill a lot of spearmen. So I auto break him in combat, which I think was probably should be expected. And I run him down. So now I'm here, and I was kind of like wondering, should I run him down or should I not run him down? Because if I chose to not follow, or if I chose to restrain with my Temple Guards, I would be able to alleviate a lot of pressure on these Sea Guard here with the wizard in it. But he's facing this way here, so I was thinking anyway he could just run out of, because this is my turn 5, right? So or is it 4? Whatever. So I think the idea was that he could at least run away from me for the remaining turns. So I decided to follow just to make sure that I got points for the spearman and the general. The High Prince is in here as well. The High Prince that hits like a maniac. And then I would still be able to like clean up the bottom there, clean up these all his range down here. So I thought that was okay. Yes, so his turn here. Oh, and I managed to kill the Phoenix Warden down with my Raptoritis as well. And I think I just kill exactly enough to break his steadfast. Not that I think it would matter a whole lot anyway, but that was nice. And I run him off the field. And so right now, the game I thought was kinda even a little bit in my favor, but I realized that I had to take the objective. If I wanted to win this game here, I had to take the objective, because I had already lost some Skink Braves over here and my Saurian Warriors over here, which was already 1,000 points, and I haven't taken that many points from him. I've actually only taken like a Sea Reaper, one of his bow throwers, and his big units of spearmen plus a general. So I was thinking I had like 1,500 points versus, and he had like 1,000 points from me. And his next turn he would most likely be able to take off my Taurosaur, I thought. So, and if he did manage to do that, then and the other Taurosaur only have 2 wounds left, 3 wounds left. So that was it was entirely plausible that he managed to kill 2 Taurosaurs, which would leave me in a big deficit. So I was still worried that this game here could definitely even turn into a loss. But I was not really sure what I could do about it. Anyway, it becomes his turn, right? And I can't remember what he do. Yes, he managed to shoot. He managed to kill my my Skink Priest, right? He uses his magic, and I can't really stop it, because I not really sure why I couldn't stop it, but I couldn't stop it. He kills my Taurosaur, my Skink Priest, and he uses his Grey Watchers to try and flank charge my Raptoritis. I think that might have been a mistake, because they would lose anyway. I would get more. I would think I would get more. What do you call it? Combat resolution from having an easier time killing his Grey Watchers than he would get from the charge and flank and bigger flank, right? So that would give him like 3, and I would have 4 attacks on him. So I don't know. It's probably a good idea. Anyway, even if he do charges me in the flank with it, I would just have to kill 2 Phoenix Wardens, and I would still be steadfast, right? No, I would not. I have to win the combat, so I can see why he would charge. I would agree. I've probably done that too. Anyway, I tried to. Not much happened this turn here. I tried to. We fight here, and I managed to run down the. Run down his Phoenix. No, I chose. I win the combat against with my Raptor Riders. I chose to restrain because here is something interesting, right? I chose to restrain with my Raptor Riders, and I tell you why. Because it's actually a pretty tricky situation here. If we just go back to the previous picture, right? So the situation here is right as it is right now, right? This unit up here is untouchable for me at the moment. Like there's nothing that can see it. So the only way I would be able to pose a threat to this unit here would be by having my Raptor Riders win the combat, reform, look this way here. So I did that, and in order for this charge to happen, this Pterosaur would need to reach the Bullthrower, and this Temple Guard would need to reach one of these two units here. And I think it needs a +8 to do that. And I think the furthest away he could get away with his spearman units was something like in this vicinity here, and that was like I would need like I think it was 9 or something to succeed the charge. So if I could manage to win this combat down here and make these two guys flee, then I would have a sincerely good chance to manage to get this unit here, right? Which would definitely swing the game in my favor, and I would also take the objective of him, because right now he's winning the objective. This was so big that he managed to kill my Saurian warriors over here. It was such a big mistake of me trying to run down his flame wardens previously. I should just reformed here and closed up this flank completely, and everything would have been very good. Anyway, this was my idea to try and to catch this last remaining unit he had here, right? So let's see if it happens. Yeah, go to the next picture. So. Yes, this is how it looks. So I declare charge. I can't remember the order I chose it into, but actually he chose to rally. He chose to flee with his unit up here, because there's like 1,000 point in here with the Wizard Master and the BSB and 15 Sea Guards with the. So he chose to flee here because. I started, so he still has one turn to rally the unit here after his next turn. So I can see why he did that. But when they start fleeing, he loses the objective, which was the basic goal for me to obtain, right? So I managed to, by that, I managed to even out the 2 objective, because my Raptor Riders also holds the objective, right? And I managed to clean up. Yeah, I managed to get the charge. These are archers, so I managed to get the charge on the archers, and I get the charge on the Bullthrower. He chooses to flee with his Sea Guards up here, so I get a fail charge and I run into the flank of the Temple Guards or something. I run down something down like here, and that's kind of the end of the game. I can't remember if anything happens from here, but there's not much. He tries to turn around with his. He rallies his Sea Guard unit and tries to. Oh right, I run off with my. On purpose, I run off with my last tower, so I tried to run it off the field, so he won't be able to try and shoot it off in his last magic phase. Which succeed, and I clean up the last parts on the bottom side here. So at the end of the game, he has his Sky Loop left, 2 Eagles, and 5 Grey Watchers, and the bunker unit for his Phoenix mates and his BSB, and the 5 Silver Helms on the right side. And I have on the other side 1 Pterosaur left, my 8 Caimans, 10 Raptors, and my Temple Guard unit. So I think it ends up in a minor victory for me, like 12-8, if I recall correctly. Uh, and I think there were some pretty vital mistakes here, and I also lose my 2 snake swarms, right? There was some fatal mistakes. The biggest one was by far me trying to pursue the Phoenix Wardens with my Saurian Warriors. That, if I haven't done that, the game would have probably been in 20-0. Another mistake here was me hesitating too much with charging with my Temple Guards and his Spearmen. I think I should just run at him with my Temple Guards, use my Steadfast. If you see here, this picture here, I think I used one turn where I tried to chaff him off instead of just going, and I didn't move 8 inches with my Temple Guard. I think I just moved my Temple Guards 4 inches and chaff him off. Or I think I should just move them all the way up here or something like that. And then just be ready to take the charge. And if you wanted to charge my Raptor Riders, I would be okay with that, because I think I can hold 1 turn maybe. Or else I can just flee, and then I would flee here. He would charge here, and then I would probably flee something like down here at the end. And then I will be able to get a charge from my Temple Guards after that. So I think that was a mistake. Not a big one, because I think this flank here still had some time to work with. So even if they were slow, right? I think even if I didn't advance that much on this flank here, I think I would still eventually win here. I think I should just have been more ruthless and done it quicker. And here was another big mistake here on the Skink Braves. So when looking back at it, I made quite a big blunders on my turn 3 and 4. The Skink Braves here, I wanted to pick up the objective and ignore the 2 Great Eagles, and then just potentially try and threat the Silverhelms down here, or more likely just stand here and just take the objective and be happy and just take all incoming charges and hope I could restrain it. They were on a big job, and you could maybe argue maybe I should have picked the Caymans instead and advance with my Skink Braves instead, so I would definitely not lose the objective on the right side. And as my Caymans, they would reach the enemy front line by turn 5 or something like that. So you could argue that they would have done better just holding on to this objective, because then I would have been definitely winning the game. And then my Skink Braves would just try to advance here, and things may be a lot different. I don't know. I think it's correct actually. I think it's okay for me. Just try and hold the line with my Skink Braves. Yeah. Anyway, that's just the game. It was a fun game. It was a really good game, and it was really exciting all the way through from beginning 1 to 6. And I must say, I just recently started playing these Tower Saws, and honestly, I find them. This army doesn't have a lot of shooting targets for the enemy, right? There's not a whole lot of targets that that are juicy for enemy shooting. I have Raptor Riders here, and they have the Totis banner, so they have hard target. I have Caymans, toughness 4, and my resistance 4. I have Temple Guards, resistance 4, armor of 3 plus. Saurian Warriors, resistance 4, armor 4 plus, right? And then Skink Braves. But there is not that many juicy targets for, say, archers, sea guards, normal archers, even bow throwers. The Highborn bow throwers don't have that many juicy targets here, right? So it naturally comes down to 2 juicy targets, two Strigodons, and you don't have. It makes little to no sense to try and shoot anything else on my army list, except from the Skink Braves. So quite naturally, all shooting are gonna be facing these 2 Strigodons. And I mean, if it's not possible for me to alleviate some of that pressure on the Strigodons, my tower saws, then I think they die by against many shooting armies by turn 2 or 3, and then you just lose like what 500 points, and it doesn't do anything. Because I mean, 500 points you can get a whole unit, almost you can get close to 6 cavemen, 6 caimans, or 7 caimans or something like that. Or you can get a whole unit, you can get another 10 units of raptor riders. Or you can like you can get something better. So lately I've actually been trying to play with only one, and only one tower saw, and give it a Engine of the Ancient to give out that juicy 5+ wall save to all of these big blocks, which I think works really good. Because big 5+ wall save with a lot of blocks is very strong. I mean, you get 1/3 extra Temple Guards until the reach come. Whatever, I think it's strong. Anyway, this was the game. This is my list, and I will be happy to update you again with another game very soon. As soon as I get to play another game, which I think it's worth doing a report about. Up till then, stay tuned and stay happy. Peace.